Yo, what up? What in the comments? Ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a look at Secret My Lips comment section today. I think, at some point I had, what would you say? Not that. Ambitions of doing both Secret My Lips and Secret Micro Lips comment section as a single video. I don't think that's going to happen. So we're just going to break them up into two videos. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Just real quick, if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, great way to support me. Also, link is in the description for the Patreon. If you want to head over and support me on Patreon, you can check out some of the stuff over there. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let us get started. First up, Gary Holloway 810 says, Konami told me Secret My Micro Lips is a bit like tea and coffee. Some people prefer tea and some prefer coffee, and those that like both can enjoy a cup of toffee. Probably. I appreciate that. Okay, but when you say Konami told you, what are you saying? How did you do that? Tell me more. I would like to know what you mean more detailedly. Up next, Pokes Bob chimes in, says, hi, Gary. Boop. Boop. Sugar and is 3143 says, don't like tea or coffee, but a cup of toffee sounds good to me. Maybe with some salmon cookies. There's a combination. Salmon cookies. I know I'm weird. Boop. We like weird here. It's okay. Gary Holloway says, hiya, Bob. Hello. And Gary Holloway also responds to Sugar News 3143, says, nope, no matter how appealing you try to make it sound, salmon should only be in fish cakes. A cup of toffee I could drink, though. Bet. Rahim Ramat chimes in, says, if there are any kids here reading comments and want to make their very own toffees, I beg you kids not to listen to this Gary fellow. That recipe will be a disaster as far as toffees go. Where I come from, though, the coffee-tea combo is known as a yan yang. Remember that name when you come down to Singapore, folks. Yan yang. Boop. Appreciate the little bit of travel advice there, buddy. I've got this kink in my neck right here, and every time I open my mouth, it, like, seizes up. I hate it. It sucks. So if I'm going like this a lot, that's why I'm trying to, like, loosen that up. Anyway, not that you need to know that. Gary Holloway also says, replies to Raheem, says, I didn't say there wouldn't have to be refinements made to the recipe. Anyway, kids should stick to the drinks they all like alcohol. Did you just say kids should drink alcohol? What are we saying here? And then Raheem closes out, says cheers. Boop. Boop. Appreciate the comments, gentlemen, ladies. Wayne King 5081 up next says, personally I prefer the Band-Maid version. Can't wait. Boop. Appreciate the comment. Band-Maid fan Atlanta. Forget what Akane is doing during Mincho time. How about what Miku is doing? Huh. So I just went back, and as you can see, I was listening to it. To hear what you were talking about. Yeah, no, you're right. It's got so I don't want to play it because I don't want to get demonetized. We'll try it. And if I have to cut it out, then this will just, like, the full version will be on the Patreon. Okay. The rhythm that like Miku's rhythm guitar, the chugs, like, line up with Akane's double bass work. It's pretty dope. Boop. Appreciate the comment. Thanks for pointing that out. Up next, Russell Potter 7294 says, I have always said that Band-Maid have an album's worth of ideas in every song. They just play a genre called Band-Maid. Now their albums are more affordable and available. I have bought them because one play of any track is simply not enough. I am old and have loved bands and music, but simply cannot remember a band that has so much repeatability on each song. Plus, the live versions are different enough from the recorded versions to make them make them never feel stale, always evolving and getting better. One day we will look back and remember this being the best band around and wonder why statues of them in every city are yet to be built. Boop. So real talk, I gotta tell you, I think this is my favorite Band-Maid song. Okay, I think "Secret My Lips" is my favorite Band-Maid song that I've heard so far. Might be my favorite song, just full stop. Those big words. DragonMac1234 up next says, I love the juxtaposition between the cute maid image and the melt your face off heavy riffs from these talented ladies. Miku knew what she was doing when she had that idea. Mincho has the face of an angel, but she shreds like a demon. Boop. No arguments. Lonnie Kramlich 6241 up next says, by the way, the only original band Maiko song is Gyeoncho. It definitely deserves a listen. Boop. Appreciate it. I'm gonna check it out. Surfing on a Song Wave up next says, certain reactors decide they are going to point out every little thing that's interesting in a Band-Maid song, but by the second verse they realize they're going to have an hour-long reaction for a 4-minute song, and they just start skipping over the less obvious, cool things and leave them for the motivated student to find on their own. I've always called that vocal effect a filter mic, but that's probably not the correct term. Maybe a megaphone effect? I don't know. They use it the correct way, though. It's like a panning shot in a movie. Oh yeah, it's a good metaphor. I guess simile. When the cameraman brings something in the foreground into sharp focus, it directs your attention, and that's how Band-Maid uses it for the vocals, to draw your attention to the chorus. Absolutely. Astute observation. Boop. So dumb. Jeff B5 says, I hear it as similar to the 1920s singing through a megaphone, so I think megaphone effect. Boop. Surfing on a Song Wave responds, 1920s telephones had a similar sound. The carbon microphones in the handset covered roughly the 300 hertz to 3400 hertz frequency range. When the telephone calls were digitized in the 60s, the standard was 300 to 3000 hertz. The 2700 hertz bandwidth is a pretty narrow response range for a human voice. It sounds shallow and tinny without low and high frequencies. Effects boxes mimic that by attenuating or filtering out everything below 300 hertz and everything above 3000 hertz to give a similar sound. That's really cool. I appreciate the education. Boop. Thank you, buddy. You get a heart for that. Leon Yeg5Gim said, it's basically an EQ effect that cuts out the high and lows from the mix, massively emphasizing the mids. Boop. And then that's a very, put very simply, what is happening with the effect. Jeff B5 says, good to know, thanks. Boop. And Army Nurse Boy chimes in, says, yeah, the old time radio speaker sound. Boop. Appreciate the comment, gentlemen. And ladies. Up next, Topographic 1973 Iffy. Drop some emojis. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Pokebob 359 says, not gonna lie, I couldn't help but laugh at your struggle with this one. Glad I could be of service. Fayron up next says, I'm good at this, I promise, quoting me, I think. Don't worry, we know that. We also understand that sometimes you're just speechless when 5 ladies in maid costumes hit you with such a great track. It's true. Like, I legitimately listened to it on repeat last night for like 2 hours. This is insane. I'm already damn curious to see if you managed to come up with any words at all after the Maiko version. I'm inclined to bet. Boop. Appreciate the comment. Stephen Clark 7600 says, Band-Maid writes songs like no band ever has. Yes, you could make 3 or 4 songs from the contents of one Band-Maid song, but they choose not to do that. They also won't stick around the normal song formula. They do it their way, and this song is a great example. Boop. No arguments. Thank you for the comment. Up next, David IO9 NJ says, I always think of Secret My Lips, Choose Me, and Puzzle as 3 variations on the same subject, i.e. unrequited love. Interesting. This video came from a concert for the introduction of the album Just Bring It. The audio is supposed to be the studio track. I have read that technical problems ruined most of the concert recordings. About 6 tracks are archived on Band-Maid Prime. What is amazing is that Psyche was at the height of her vocal medical issues. Still sounded great. Boop. Appreciate the comment. Up next, Wonderlay Jesus 6772 says, this is my favorite Band-Maid song. The one that told me that they were worth a follow. Then I discovered Wonderland. It is the title of the song. It's the title of the song. Boop. Appreciate the comment. Wonderland's on my radar. For sure. Greer Squire drops an emoji. Appreciate the comment. Thanks for watching, buddy. Again, Wonderly Jesus 6772 says, I would say in a 3-minute prog rock, you know, those music in the early 70s that took 18 minutes to end. Not sure what to make of that, but appreciate the comment nonetheless. Thank you, buddy. Leon, you 5 grams says, this song, Secret My Lips, is one of the songs I've been dying for you to get to, John. Absolutely love this song, no matter how many times I hear it. They didn't play this anywhere in the USA last year, so I was giving up hope on hearing it live. However, I got to see them live doing this in May. Loved every second of it. Like, Akane's kick drum work, like, legitimately, I've been referring to her as Machine Gun Akane because of the way... Listen, I mean, if we get demonetized, I'll just have to cut it, but whatever. But like, listen to the double bass work in this section. See, it's out of control. It's out of control. It's actually not. It's actually really in control, which is what makes it out of control. Okay? It's good. Anyway. Boop. Appreciate the comment. Totally jealous that you got to see that song live. Up next, Kevin6059 says, for being pretty early in their careers, both this song and Yola have some pretty complex syncopation type stuff going on in the verse part. A lot of eighth notes tied to other eighth notes, quarter notes, not easy to play in sync with others, especially when the gorilla is also doing her own thing and not just pounding out the downbeats. I mean, for real. Her fills, though, they're so locked in. It's insane how even and in time everything that she plays is. It's really like there's almost infinite replay value just in that alone for me. Like I said, the kick drums are haunting. Jim S responds, and pound she does hard. I don't know why I said it like that. That was weird. Boop. Appreciate the comments. Next up, Kevin6059 also says, Stephen Fry once said about B.G. Woodhouse, you don't analyze such sunlit perfection, you just bask in its warmth and splendor. This also holds true with Band-Maid, in my humble opinion. Boop. I get that. No arguments. Leon, what'd you say, Leon? Okay. Says, think of the voice effect like taking an equalizer and spreading out over a big rainbow across the whole thing. The low and highs will be bottomed out while the mids will be at the top of the rainbow's arc. Boop. It's a good way to phrase it. Appreciate the comment. Cyber Potato 63 up next says, this is the music video version of Secret My Lips. It's the studio version from the album. The live video clip is synced up to it. It's from late 2017 or early 2018. My personal favorite version of Secret My Lips is the live Studio Coast version that came with the limited edition second DVD disc packaged with the Just Bring It album. Boop. Appreciate the comment. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'll check it out. Falcon Zooner says, great reaction. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for watching. User HHC6CD4PM2S. Username checks out. This is a masterpiece of Band-Maid. Beep. No arguments. James Welsh 598 says, all you need to know is that they are Band-Maid. You are correct, sir. That is all I need to know. Next up, The Germ says, pop punk progressive jazz arena hard rock, aka masterwork, aka Band-Maid. So how was it putting your brain back in after the Myco version? Thanks, John. Boop. It's bold of you to assume that I've gotten the brain back in, sir. Up next, Greg Amsva. That's weird. I don't know why they're adding these things on the end. Says, it's a band pass filter that creates a telephone effect. Oh, thank you. I guess that's what the effect is called, a pass filter or a band pass filter. Cool. I love the education y'all give me. It's so good. Thank you. Up next, Jim S. says, Band-Maid uses that vocal filter quite a bit. And to perfection, I may add. Vicious rumor has it Konami and Godzilla from the same area prefecture in Japan? Coincidence, perhaps? I think not. Boop. Appreciate the comment. Y'all are crazy. Techno Psycho Bedlam says, Secret My Lips is a perfect song. You know what, dude? You know what? There are a lot of songs out there that are great. Very few of them do I listen to and not hear something that I'm like, oh, that could be tweaked a little bit. But this one, I can't find it. I can't find the thing. So, I don't even know. You might be right about this being a perfect song. Boop. You get a heart for that. I might even pin your comment. I might. You don't get Band-Maid Prime for this because that's just the Myco version. Because I said the thing on that thing. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know why you get the pen, but you got it. Army Nice Boy up next says, my two favorite parts of the song. Guitar solo to jazz interlude to breakdown. You know, fucking wild, right? Absolutely wild. The dance beat outro, like, it's just so, they're literally like the definition of prog. They do whatever the fuck they want. I love it so much. They're my favorite band. Boop. Sorry, Tool. Okay, don't be jealous. Just for right now. Okay? Okay, come out with a new album, and then we'll talk. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. DK Music 7000 up next says, this song sits next to Puzzle in my top favorite Band-Maid songs. They are both quintessentially Band-Maid. This song in particular is a heavy hitter for me. Akane drives this song like she stole it. Ah! Yes, well said, sir. Well said. With everyone else trying to keep up. Yo, the machine gun kick drums, though. I know we call her the gorilla, but it's like, yo, are we sure she's not a swan? Because, like, if you look at the top, it's all, like, placid and, oh, very, very. But if you listen to the kick drum, it's just, and it's not just, like, straight up 16th notes or 32nd notes, like, all, no. There's, like, syncopation in the kick drum. It's insane. It's out of control. Nonsense. Can't get over it. He goes on to say, it has some of the most amazing transitions, no arguments, in true Band-Maid fashion. It's so heavy. The vocals, guitar riffs, solos, composition, arrangement, all there. One thing, when you get a chance, check out the lyrics. Let me say they are very intense. And just like Puzzle, once you read them, the song has a whole new meaning. I hope to one day hear them play this and Puzzle live. And if they play them at the same show, dream come true. Boop. Appreciate the comment. Also, you win the pin, okay, for that comment. It's not over yet, though. Gerald Cahill, 5823 says, to this day, I really, really, really like the vast majority of music by Band-Maid. But this song is always my number one go-to song. My favorite, for sure. Boop. I mean, it's not hard to see why. It's exceptional, even as far as Band-Maid goes. Raheem Ramat drops a comment, says, question, who let you do this? Answer, we let you do this. Yes, we did. Y'all are enabling my poor behavior. I appreciate that about you. He also says, question, are you qualified to react to Band-Maid songs? Answer, yes. You most... Oh, thank you. That's so wholesome. I appreciate that. You most definitely are. Anyone who can appreciate Band-Maid like you do would definitely qualify, but they must have the same level of appreciation as you do. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Up next, Leardos9192 says, if hard rock, pop rock, blues rock, punk rock, jazz rock, this girls are so good. I love Band-Maid. Greetings from Germany. Boop. Boop. You get a heart because you told me where you're from. I love when you guys tell me where you're from. Up next, Lataro Flotaris 612 says, Akane. Oh my god. Yeah, you get a heart for that too. Just because of how on point. Okay, Machine Gun. Akane, MGA. Stop. Next up, me 262A1 says, yeah, I saw this live at the Bayou about halfway through the set. Psyche asked us if we were ready, and the crowd responded, but nobody was ready for this. Didn't matter. They killed it. I'll never forget it. Boop. One day I'll get to see them live. Take my daughter to see them. Tiborn up next. Grady 3432 says, Akane Hirose, the drummer? No, it's, you've seen it, you've heard it, and you know, the gorilla. Boop. But also the swan. Juan-san66 up next says, Just Bring It was their first LP. The amount of compositional talent that they already had in 2016 is absolutely unfathomable. Boop. No arguments. Up next, Music Mike 747 says, Band-Maid played this for us in Charlotte, and the jazz breakdown flipped my brain inside out. I hadn't heard you hadn't heard it yet. Since then, I'm enjoying it more every time I listen. I'm convinced that Band-Maid makes us better listeners of music. You know, that is a very good point, sir. Anyways, Psyche's vocals are likely processed through a lo-fi effect. It makes vocals seem a little distorted and distant, like old 50s vinyl records. It could be that, or it could be another distortion effect. She uses a similar one in Blooming. Psyche's vocals are so pure, powerful, and beautiful as is. Effects are only for specific song sections and not because she needs anything. Right, they're just dynamics. You're just adding dynamics to the song. It's sort of like, you know, if you know how to use it, like the more tools you have in your repertoire, the better. If you know how to use them, right? And Band-Maid, they definitely know how to use their tools in their repertoire. I was thinking about this too, and like how funny. I've been thinking about this, and it was it's only now that I'm like getting ready to tell you guys about it that I realize I think I've already told you. So I've already had this thought before, processed it, and then told you about it, forgotten about it, and then it came back, it hit me like, oh, it's this like novel thought, it's really cool, and then I go to tell you about it, and I'm like, oh wait, actually no, it's not. Okay, but it's just about how like it's like maximizing your resources, right? It's like, it's one thing if you have a bunch of technical ability and you're flashy and you just like dump all of that into all of your music, but to be able to cultivate that and curate your ability in like the most efficient way possible, that I think is really satisfying to people as listeners. So it's like, that's why you can have someone who isn't the most technically proficient at a thing still be insanely popular, because they've figured out how to maximize their resources, right? Anyway, he goes on to say, like adding a wah pedal to a guitar solo just takes it in a different direction. Boop. Appreciate the comment, buddy. Thank you. Hagia Saman 7748 says, Secret My Lips, one of quite a few Band-Maid monsters. Yeah. Others would be not a complete list, but Puzzle. Yep. Definitely a monster. Moratorium. Haven't listened to it. Manners. One of my favorites. Black Hole. Absolutely a monster. Blooming. Still haven't heard it. Giovanni. Haven't heard it. Coralium. Haven't heard it. Take Me Higher. Nope. Old Play? Old Play? I mean, I've heard Play. No God. Yep. Warning, Screaming, Unfair Game, Matchless Gum, which we've heard, Bubble, etc. Well, appreciate the list. There's no shortage of tracks for me to check out, so it's always exciting. And there we go. There's the pinned comment. Congratulations, DK Music 7000. You win nothing except the glory of being pinned on this video. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and end that one here. And the Secret Myco Lips comment section will be out probably today as well. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but you know. Once again, if you like what I do and you want to support the channel further, link is in the description for the Patreon. So you can head over there and sub up. Definitely helps me out. I'm thinking about like doing like fundraisers and things, and like sort of making the projects that I'm actually working on more transparent in that way. So you guys see that like the support that you're lending to the channel actually is like going, you know, somewhere, instead of just like radio silence and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, oh, I'm doing this thing, and then like radio silence again. So I don't know. But if you don't like links and you don't like clicking on them and you think blue letters killed your parents, then super thanks are active on the channel. So feel free to drop a super thanks for your boy. And let me know what you think of the video, all that stuff. That's going to do it though for this one. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. I mean, I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm just going to go right into recording the other one, but you know, it's secret. Okay, secret.